All right, what is up, guys? VV back with another video, and today we're going to be doing another game from the PPG, Knoxville. We're going to be watching at 2x speed here, and oops, let me get this back up to full screen. There we go. And we're going to be watching a Whitebeard versus Rebecca. Whitebeard versus Rebecca game here. So we have Nicholas on the right, and I guess Nicholas on the left as well. I don't know if that's a mistake or not, but I'm assuming one of these guys' name is Nicholas, or maybe both of them. Excuse me. So, all right, we're going to watch, again, so this is Rebecca versus Newgate. And the way I would explain what's going on here, this is part of the PPG Knoxville Round 8. And both of these players are currently undefeated. Okay? Excuse me. Or at least I believe that's the situation here. And I think ultimately, if I'm the Rebecca player, I want to go first so I can use my leader's effect. And at the same time, I think Whitebeard wants to go second anyway. Maybe not, though. And I think we're going to be able to tell right away here. If the Whitebeard wants to go first, and it looks like, no, it looks like the Rebecca went first, but I don't know who actually won the dice roll, who was able to decide. So, all right, Rebecca's going to go first here. And she just does her leader search to get the... We got to go back a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. My apologies here. Okay, got the Gats, trash the Leo. And the Whitebeard is going to follow up on his turn one with an EZO search. And let's go ahead and see what he snags out of that. Gets top 5. And we're going to go... He's going to check his hand to make sure he gets the best optimal decision. And it looks like you got a 4-cost, I think it's Atmos. And then does another search. And let's see what he snags from this one. Gets a... Oh, got the alt art... the alt art Newgate. The 9-cost... Edward Newgate character. So... and then the Rebecca's going to follow up with just a straight up... Kairos to KO one of the EZOs. That's a solid, way to do it. Or a solid... how to say, that's the most value you can ask for out of Kairos this early on. And then Newgate plays the Atmos he just got. So he's got a 4-cost 6K on the board. And now let's see how the Rebecca is going to choose to deal with it. Just says, you know what? Get it out of here. Truno Bastardo. He hits the Atmos with Truno Bastardo. Okay, so then use the leader's effect. He's got a Rebecca and a Kairos in hand. Whew, that's a tough decision, actually. And he's going to go with the Rebecca. Interesting. Okay, so that means he has other things in mind and other plays in hand. And we can't really see their hands very well, so I can't really talk on what's in each player's hand. Okay, so takes the 6K swing. And then Marco comes down. And just it doesn't have any real relevant targets. So let's see what the Rebecca does now with 7. With 7 Dawn, that is. So far, a pretty non-eventful game. They're just kind of playing out. They're trying to develop their boards and transition into a late game, into a mid-game and late-game scenario. I'm wondering... Oh, wow. Okay, so that is where 3,000 Worlds comes in to just remove Marco. It just says, you know what, I don't... This is how I like to play, or this is what I like most about Rebecca, is just removing characters just one shot at a time. And then playing down these little characters here, like this 2-cost EDO, this 3-cost Kairos, excuse me. But real quick, the Whitebeard is going to do a Whitebeard Pirates, searches up a Marco 5-drop, and KOs the EDO by playing it directly afterwards. Still 2 Dawn left for the, for the Whitebeard. He's going to swing 8 at Rebecca. And for those who don't know, with Rebecca, you're going to be able to potentially draw 2 cards a turn. So using 2K counters to get out of attacks like that, even if you have to double up, it's really not that bad. Like it fills up your trash, which fuels the rest of your deck. And so here's the search he just got. He got rid of a Bartolomeo and a Gats. Now he got the Bartolomeo straight back and put another card as trash. Personally, I would have liked the Sabo, but I noticed a lot of people don't get Sabo. I think they want more of the low cost plays, the more efficient plays. So you can do multiple things a turn. Get the most bang for your buck kind of idea. So swinging in for 6, 1K counter out with an EZO search. Plays down Monkey D. Luffy, but there's no core to Coliseum in play, so he can't actually attack into anything currently. So and we are getting very close to 15 cards in the trash of the Rebecca player. The way he has his trash or his graveyard staggered, it looks like he has 5, 10, 11. So, and I've seen a lot. I do that as well as a Rebecca player. I do like 5 on the 5, and then I'll go to the next row, then 5, then 5, 5. I don't know if it's who knows if it's legal or not, but I don't think who's going to care. It's not like you're cheating. You're just. It's actually. I would consider it. Okay, and he's going to drop the 9 cost Whitebeard. Got to pause real quick, but I would consider doing your trash like that actually. Beneficial to you and your opponent. So it's like a win-win. All right, now back to the game here. The Whitebeard has determined I need to just drop this guy right now. I need to drop my, and remember, this is in the West. He only has one of these in his deck, these 9-cost Whitebeards characters. And he's determined, okay, I'm going to go up to 8K base power. Excuse me. And I have a 10K on the board you're going to have to deal with now. Excuse me. So let's see what the Rebecca player does here. Might decide to take this because he did have to trash 2 cards last turn. No, he's kind of fighting. Okay, he does take it, and no trigger. So now it looks like at the bottom there, the Whitebeard player is either counting his dice, or he has dice at the bottom of the screen where he's counting his amount of cards or his opponent's. Okay, Rebecca's going to draw, look at the top 3, and grab a Dressrosa character, or a Dressrosa type card. Let's see what he grabs. He's got Trina Bastardo, Orlumbus, and Rebecca. Grabs the Orlumbus, which that makes a lot of sense, right? Because we do have a Edward Newgate on the board. We have Whitebeard on the board. So let's see what he does here. Plays the Orlumbus for 4. I'm assuming he's just gonna try to KO the Kairos here. Yep, and then tap the leader. Trashes 2 cards for the effect. -4 cost to Newgate, and for Dawn. 3,000 worlds. Bye bye Newgate. Use leader's effect. Trashes Leo. Grabs the. I think that was a Gats. Was it a Gats or a Bartolomeo? I couldn't quite see. Did I miss it again? I missed it again. Yeah, it was a Gats. Very nice. So I mean that's an ideal turn, right? That is an ideal turn right there for the Rebecca player. And does he swing with Luffy here? Okay, swings at Izo. And then he's going to return seven cards from his trash to stand Luffy back up. So the Rebecca player is in a very good position currently. It's hard to say who's quote-unquote winning at this kind of point in the game. But on board state alone, Rebecca has a very clear advantage. We're going to have to see what kind of cards that the Whitebeard player has that can deal with what is on the Rebecca's board. Is there any events that he runs in his deck that can help him take out some of the chaff, some of the like the Orlumbus and the Rebecca over here. Even the Kairos is susceptible right now because the leader is tapped down. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. I mean, I'm thinking you just have to fill the board up personally. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of routes you can take, obviously, and I don't even know what cards are in the Whitebeard's hand. And he's going to swing for 7. And, yeah, Rebecca says, sure, I'm just going to counter out. Okay, and let's see what happens now. So, attach 1 to Newgate, swing 7 again. I'm sure he's feeling obliged to take this, because you don't want to spend too many cards on it. You want to spend cards out of hand to fill your trash, and that way it turns on your leader's effect. But at the same time, you can't just trash your whole hand. You know what I mean? You do have to have some kind of... Okay, and he's going to... Yeah, he did take it. You do have to get some cards from your life as to have a decent, hand size to have more options each turn. Excuse me. So the Whitebeard player plays King Dew out, 5 cost 7,000 power vanilla character. This makes a lot of sense to me, and he left 3 Dawn as active. So the Whitebeard, even though he's only on 1 life, he's threatening to be able to, how do I say this? He is going to be able to defend with potentially plus 9,000 in events alone, right? That's kind of, or even plus 10,000 if one's a Rad Beam. But okay, so hang on, we gotta get back real quick, guys. I'm sorry. So he's gonna swing for 6 at the leader, and just gonna 1K counter out. Yep, by tossing Thatch, and then Rebecca, the character, to search 3, grabs a King Kong gun, trashes Orlumbus, and 7 cost Luffy. And we still have 8 Dawn active to play with. We still have many things we could do right now. And gonna swing 7 at... Did he swing 7 at Marco? I believe he swung 7 at Marco. I could be wrong. But he can easily stand his Luffy back up here. Let's see what he decides to do. And like I said, there's still 8 Dawn active to do stuff with. Okay, so he trashed his Orlumbus. Excuse me. He trashed his Rebecca using Orlumbus' ability to minus the cost of King Dew, I believe. And then let's see what he does here. Plays down a Bartolomeo. Okay, I guess he was just doing that to get an extra effect out of it because he needed to fill up that side of the board anyway. So playing Sabo here is actually massive because he played Bartolomeo first. Whoa, hang on. Wait a minute. So he played Bartolomeo first, and it can't be KO'd now by effects. Same thing with Orlumbus, same thing with Kairos. And same thing with Luffy. However, he did not stand up as Luffy. Now, that is an interesting decision. I personally would be standing up the Luffy here. Because, think of it like this. I gotta pause. We know he has King Kong Gun, right? Well, that doesn't matter, because the Edward Newgate's about to lose a life anyway. So having 15 cards in our trash isn't even relevant, unless we're trying to save it for a barrier, or a, what's it called? Truno Bastardo. Right? Like, that's really it. Because remember... For those who don't know, King Kong Gun it gives plus 6,000 power no matter what, as long as you use it, and you have to choose a Dressrosa character. But the double attack that's not even needed right now, but that's what the 15 cards in the trash is meant to activate. So I don't know why you would not stand Luffy here. That was interesting. He might have just forgot because again, this is round 8 in the tournament, so these players are both probably fried right now. Like their brains are probably just fried at the moment. But either way, they're still playing very well. And let's see what happens. Maybe he left the Luffy tapped for a reason. Maybe to bait attacks in. Because really, you know, Rebecca's only at 2 life. But does have 2 blockers and a fistful of cards. I think he's got 5 or 6 cards in hand. So, okay. So he's going to -2. -4. -4,000 power to the Luffy. He's now a 3,000 power character. Yeah, so now it's going to be very easy to attack into him with things. Now remember, he can't be KO'd with like a jet pistol or a fire fist or anything like that because of Sabo. But okay, here comes an attack for 8,000. Do you want to block out 5,000? Or 6,000, really, right? Because he's at 3. So, and the answer to that is no. But maybe you... Okay, he just lets it die. I was going to say another option would be you could just use your Bartolomeo. Okay, 2k counters out of the Marco attack and 6k more coming in here from Newgate. And he's got 7 Dawn active. I'm assuming he's going to be... Okay, very nice. Is he going to be playing out Ace? No. Blocker Marco and takes last life, pass turn. So if I am the... See, yeah, I got to pause. So I think if he left the Luffy... untapped here, I don't think there was any way for them to take out Luffy. And now this turn, it would just be game over. Now, it probably still is game over. I think that Rebecca can still easily win in this position. But I think you guys also see what I'm saying. Like, I think you guys get what I'm talking about. Because then you just load up Luffy and just go, okay, you know, maybe just swing like 15-15, and then you could distribute the rest how you need to across Sabo and Orlumbus to do the final attacks. So the Rebecca player is probably kicking himself a little bit here over that. But it's by no means over. Still have 2 blockers. Let's see what happens. But again, y'all tell me in the comment section below if y'all think that was a play mistake or not untapping it. Untapping the Luffy there. Okay. The Rebecca player is really thinking. Because remember, guys, this is in 2x speed. 1, 2. We got 2 Dawn up here. What are we going to do? 7 Dawn in hand. 8. The Rebecca player is like, okay, well, crap. I got to change things up here. So 8. Yeah, I'll tell you this. It's never safe against red to leave a character tapped. Because they can easily just, subtract the power of the character. And then just start swinging into it to remove it. It's just never safe. If you have the option to leave a character unrested against red, you might as well. Okay. Let's see what you got, Rebecca. He's got to be getting pretty close to like a, you know, a warning here from a judge for taking too long. But that's the thing about playing Rebecca is there's a lot of thought involved. Okay, 3 Dawn is still active from the Edward Newgate player, so he can easily counter out of this. It's a 6k attack. He has Marco the blocker. What's he going to do? The fact that he's thinking this long means... Did I miss him do his effect? Does that mean he has no 1k counters? Or is he considering blocking with the Marco to try and bait attacks into the Marco? Or maybe they're talking? Yeah, it looks like, look at the hand gestures there. They're saying something. Some type of banter's going on between the two, or maybe a judge. There might be some questions involved. But okay, here we go. Yeah, he's going to block with Marco and just let it die. He actually just lets Marco die there. Interesting. That would be a sign for me if I see the Newgate do that. Okay, so 2k counter out from a 6k swing and then doubles up. King Kong gun. Very nice. Let me let it play out to where it says winner on here. But yeah, that was a good game. Even after the Luffy going down, having 2 King Kong guns like that, there's just no, you know... The blocker was his only way out. And let's even rewind to see if there was a better way to do that. So, if he countered out right here, then he could counter out with the next one and, like, force... Yeah, so that's what should have happened. Just looking... And I'm not faulting any of these players. They're probably so mentally drained right now. But on one of the searches... The Newgate player... Oh, look, they adjusted the name as well. His name is Joshua. So the Newgate player on the left knew there was a King Kong gun in hand. He didn't know... I don't think he knew there were 2 King Kong guns in hand, but he definitely knew there was one. So the idea is save your blocker until you have to use it on the King Kong gun. And then if he's got the second one, he wins either way, right? But it would not have been as easy because of what happened losing the Luffy the way the Rebecca player did. Regardless, though, that was a totally, like, the Rebecca was in full control of that game, even after making what I would consider to be a pretty big play mistake. But at the same time, let's look at the board. He used 2 2k counters just to drop the Luffy down from a 7 to a 4. Or, excuse me, I can't do math. From a 7 to a 3. And it's like, okay, sure, you can have my Luffy, because I'm just going to King Kong gun one of my other characters and just run you over that way. And now you have 2 less 2k counters in hand. And all the attacks went into, or well, I think 1 or 2 of the attacks went into Luffy. So I guess that, you know, ultimately you could, the guy Nicholas could justify that play as being like, no, I intended for that. Still not really the play that a lot of people would see or even consider. And who knows if it was like the right perfect play, because whatever the case is, if you put double King Kong guns on Luffy, that's 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 7 is 19. Yeah, he's going to swing for 19 twice, and that's not even counting whatever Dawn you had left. So, you know, ultimately there's probably no way out of it. But either way, really good game. It's always good to see Rebecca doing well. It's always good to see Rebecca winning. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. And if you got any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments section below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace.